All right, Fox's Alert now. I want to take you back down to Miami near Coral Gables, Florida, across the street from the University of Miami. Police responding to a possible hostage situation inside of a bank. Police say that a man walked in that bank in Coral Gables, said he had a bomb, apparently has a hostage. That's the claim right now. Police treating this very seriously. We're working on more details. Also with us out of WSVN, that's our Fox affiliate, Ralph Rayburn is in the helicopter above that bank building. And if we get a report from Ralph, we'll bring up his microphone and try and tap into the latest information there. Chris Voss is on the phone. Chris, you there?
I'm here, Bill.
You're a former hostage negotiator. In circumstances like these, you want to make contact, establish communication, give this guy a cell phone, maybe he already has one, and trying to figure out what his demands are. What would you do?
Well, the problem with incidents like this in a bank is it could be a bank robbery. It could also be a suicide by cop. It's not unusual because suicide by cop is a favorite among selected locations, among people who want to create their own lethal end for whatever reason, because you know the police are going to come to a bank. It's one of those places where you deliberately provoke confrontation with the police, and the bank seems to be the best place because they have alarms and the law enforcement is going to be there quickly. So hostage negotiators are going to be very careful when they first start talking to him about making any assumptions about what's happening. Just because it's at a bank doesn't mean it's a bank robbery.
That's very interesting. There's one image I'm looking off to the right here that shows a SWAT team, it looks like, on the ground level of that building outside the bank, and we know the bomb squad is on the scene there too. Standard practice?
Yeah, they're gonna have to create two perimeters, an inner perimeter and an outer perimeter. And in this particular situation, again, since we in law enforcement already know that banks are problematic for more reasons other than bank robberies, they're probably going to be careful about their profile. It's not a good idea to provoke someone who wants to create a fatal end. The threat of use of force only is effective with someone who wants to live. And if someone wants to die anyway, then the SWAT team is almost irrelevant. They're there to keep people away from the bank as much as they are to keep the bank itself contained.
It's said to be a hostage situation. At what point do you believe him, or do you think he's making things up? How do you figure that out?
Well, you start to talk to him right away. You ask a couple of honest, legitimate questions. One of them that's a great one to start out with is just to simply say, what's this all about? And then you give the person inside holding the hostages the opportunity to give you an indication. Sometimes they tell you as much by what they don't say as what they do say.
Good point there, too. An alert went out by the University of Miami campus to all its students. Reading in part, there's a dangerous hazard near the university campus. Avoid the area of the Bank of America. This has become even more important in situations like these as you think back about the situation in Virginia Tech. How has that changed your job or the job of these police officers or the SWAT team that are responding?
Well, I think everybody is just a reminder about making assumptions when you first get to the scene of a situation, and looking for different types of locations that speak louder in other ways. If it's a hostage taking at a university, there's so many more elements that could be involved. So you just have to be very careful about the assumptions that you make and not be wedded to those assumptions.
Chris, you're a terrific guest. Please stay on the line. We will get back to the story when we get a few more headlines. That's Chris Voss, a former hostage negotiator. Just so our viewers know, there are certain images we're not sharing because we don't know what the guy has on the inside. If he's got a television, if he has a TV, if you can see where the police have set up on the outside. So we'll be a little careful with this one. 34 minutes past the hour.